Okay, so hi guys, welcome to Hangouts for
Thank
channels Beam, which will be aired later on today, Nigerian time at 2:30 p.m. So we're discussing the electricity tariff hike, and we want to find out what your thoughts are concerning the action of the government. I mean, they have been giving us the warning that there's going to be a hike in electricity bill, and so it has finally taken off 1st of February. What's your thought about it, Dr. Austin?
well, first of all, thank you for this and good morning to everybody there. What I'm thinking about when I heard the news is here is another measure, and I'm kind of worried whether we're ever going to get any good results. We've had several measures that have been introduced in the past several years, if not decades, all aimed at improving energy supply to customers, to the citizens. And I'm not sure this is going to produce any different effect, any different result. But also, I'm worried at the rates of that hike. 45% is really, really absurd, is too much. If they could have started somewhere around, say, 10%, 15%, and maybe we'll start seeing a little result, then maybe citizens will find it necessary to, to comply when the tariff is hiked further. But we'll see. I
Think
don't know what that's the way I've been thinking about it is a little bit worrisome to me.
Okay, but don't you think it's better for them to just do a major hike and then everything stabilizes than there's a hike this year and then in 1 year's time there's another hike?
It doesn't matter for me if the hike is incremental over a period, but we want to see result. If you First of all, remember, first of all, there was the privatization that took place, right? And the excuse that was given with the privatization is that it's going to help with power generation and distribution. But we've not seen any improvement yet. Now, they have hiked the tariff before. We've not seen any improvement. So what is the guarantee that this current hike by 45% is ever going to produce any improvement? I mean, what I'm trying to argue about here is that normally when you do things, you need to do it in such a manner that you can gain the confidence of the citizens. It's only when citizens, customers, and consumers begin to see some good result that they would also find it necessary to comply with new hike. This hike is just, for me, is ridiculous. 45% is too high. That's in the first instance. Secondly, it does not. There is no reason for anybody to trust whether the government or the corporations that are in connivance in this hiking of the tariff that they can deliver.
Abiola Salami has joined us. He's in Lagos, Nigeria. But first, we'll talk to Pere, who is in Houston. Pere, you are Nigerian and you lived in Nigeria, even though you're not in Nigeria at the moment. What do you think about this hike? I mean, you know that power has been a major topic of discussion for a very long time. Do you see this as a solution? What do you think?
Okay. Hello. Hi, everybody. Thank you very much, Inik, for having me here. Even if you haven't taught me how to smile like you. Okay, so this thing now, do I see it working? I see it like every other thing that has been promised, but we're hopeful. The thing is, I would have loved them to like show some, let's see, maybe they can do something. Let's see that it can work before going on the hike. Because now, okay, there's a hike, and then nothing happens. We start paying the bills. Like as usual, we still don't see the lights. What do we do? They can't bring it back.
They
I can't
say
hear
they,
you.
yeah, they say
Okay.
they need the fund, to bring the better service that you're asking for.
Okay. They need the funds. They couldn't get it from somewhere else. for now. You know, it's going to be easier if, okay, let's say they got it from somewhere else. They worked on what they have to work on, and then we're seeing the power. And then they say pay, or else you don't see it. It's easier that way. There could have been somewhere else they could have gotten it from.
Okay. All right, Biola. I mean, you are feeling the pinch directly. You are in Lagos, so what do you think about? You have to pay 45% higher than you used to pay for electricity from this month.
Now, the first thing that the government should know is over time, people have lost confidence relates to the power topic. Electricity ever in my life. All I hear is stories from my parents saying once upon a time in this country that before they switch off power, that they make announcements and all of that. That's that story, and that looks like a utopia to me. You know, but now people have lost confidence in government, and the opportunity the new administration has is to win back the confidence of people. And the wrong way to start is to hike tariff at 45%. Because there's really, you're just promising me, the promise is empty. Now, this is not the first time we're experiencing hike in power tariff. This is not the first time. But what did we experience before? Was it better? No, it's not better. But as it is, it looks like we have no choice. The people have no choice. We just have to comply. And that's why NLC and all of those other people, you know, are going on the different walks, you know, trying to persuade the government just to let them see why this should be better managed. Now, the thing is, from all the explanations so far, I mean, I listened to our former governor, who's now the present minister. You know, from all the explanations about what it takes to generate, to distribute, and all of that, the analysis is okay and perfect. Yes, funding is needed to drive this. But what we are saying is, as much as funding is needed to drive this, one, we've lost confidence. Two, it looks like the masses, we have no choice, just dump that thing on us, and so we start to pay. What we're saying is that please be more masses friendly. Please, 45% is way too much. Increase it a little bit. Let us enjoy the benefit. Then increase it a little bit as well. You can start by increasing it by 5%. So areas where they don't have power in maybe 1 week or 1 day or a few days, let them see the change. When they experience the change, then increase it a little bit again. Then again and again till we get to the 45% thing, or we may even exceed that as it were. But it should be gradual, and people should be carried along, which is the most important thing. People should be carried along the process. Somebody was
Okay.
comparing everybody needs power, and it should be seen from that light, you know, and increase it gradually, and let us enjoy the benefits.
All right. Okay, so Dr. Austin, one of the things that government officials have said is if you take a survey around the African continent, Nigeria's tariff is like the lowest. And so, how do we compare ourselves and say, oh, these people, even though they are smaller countries, they have constant power, Nigeria pays, you know, less, and we're expecting to enjoy what those people enjoy?
You know, I hate to use this language, but that's the most stupid explanation anybody can give. In these other African countries, they don't have shortage of energy supply like in Nigeria. Why would anybody want to compare the tariff in Nigeria with that of, say, Ghana or Ivory Coast? I've been in a lot of other African countries, both West Africa, Southern and East Africa. I've traveled quite a bit. I don't see any other place where they have this epileptic energy supply as in Nigeria. Why would somebody ever want to give that kind of explanation? But if you don't mind, let me come back a little
Sorry,
bit.
before you go on, they are
Okay.
saying that one of the reasons why those people are enjoying the constant power that they're enjoying is because they are paying for it. But I mean,
But
even we have somebody from Malaysia who says what they pay in Malaysia is far higher than what we pay in Nigeria. So if we're
yeah,
paying so
but
little, well, that's how we're getting little.
that is true. But what people are paying in Nigeria already, they don't even get the benefit of it. like I said before, and Abiola himself just commented on it, there have been hikes in the past, but we've not gotten any different result. Why would you want to compare? Why would anybody want to compare Nigeria tariff in Nigeria with tariff in other African countries? But also, let's look at the differential. Consider the fact that remember that Nigeria supplies power to Niger. We sell energy. We sell electricity to Niger. I don't know if you're aware of that. Some of these other African countries that they are talking about do actually import electricity. We don't import electricity. So that's the most stupid explanation anybody would ever give to Nigerian citizens.
Come to you now, Abiola. Some of the people we have spoken to say they don't really mind if they have the meters, because if you have the prepaid meters, then you pay as you consume. And they think, well, if I have to pay for it and get it, then I don't have a problem. What's your take on that?
It's good that the prepaid meter will exactly show the units consumed and people will pay for the units consumed. Will the prepaid meter, will it increase the distribution? Will we have stable supply? Or, but when you have it for 2 hours, you pay the 45% hike, on that. Is that the conversation? The real deal is not just about the prepaid meters. The prepaid meter will help regulate payment, as it were, yes. But the real deal is how constant will the supply be? That's the real deal. And let me comment briefly on something you mentioned. When people use statistics and they say Nigeria is paying the least tariff, people use statistics to prove their point, not necessarily to solve problems. And it's important that we see it from that perspective, as it were.
Sorry, Abiola. Sorry. Because I think your network is not very strong. Hello, Abiola. Hello, Abiola. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so your network is not very strong, so your audio is breaking, your video is breaking. So what we think is, if you disable your video, and then you can say what you said again, so that we can have your. Okay, so can you disable your video? And then disable it, yes. So at least we'll have better audio.
Okay. So can you hear me now?
Yes, cool. So just say what you said again, please.
Can you hear me? Yes, but that is not sufficient. It will help to the extent that it will help people to pay for just what they consume. But is the conversation about paying for what I consume? No. The conversation is about having power supply. If the conversation is about paying what I consume, meaning that if you give me 2 hours of power or 3 hours of power in a week or in a month or in a year, that is all I'll pay for, and I'll pay the 45% increase in that. Whereas I'll still be spending money to generate my own electricity through other means. But that's not the conversation. We ensure power supply, effective, constant power supply without ripping the citizens off. How do we gain back the confidence of citizens? How do we ensure that this comes to stay? Like the doctor said, we supply other African countries. We supply them, and they have constant energy with us. The masses hike, maybe another means of generating revenue, just dump it on us without necessarily solving the problem at hand. Hello? Hello? Wow.
Yeah, we can hear you now. We lost you at a point.
Okay. Well, I
Okay.
don't know. I don't know the last thing you heard.
No, I think you were saying that, like the doctor said, we do supply electricity to neighboring countries.
Yes, some other countries, and they have constant power supply. So when it comes to our own, the originator of power, as it were, we have epileptic supply. So the conversation really is not about it's not just about the prepaid meters. The conversation is how frequent, how constant can we enjoy locally? Can we enjoy power supply? Because the masses feel that the government is trying to rip us off. Because maybe this is another means of generating revenue without necessarily solving the problem at hand. The problem at hand is constant power supply, and that should be given to us not at a rate that will kill us, but at a rate that will be friendly, and we can grow this and make this better together.
Now, what what can the masses do now? What do we do? I mean, yes, the NLC and other labor groups have carried out series of protests and everything, but at the end of the day, this is the stance of the government, and this is the reality on ground. What would you, as a Nigerian, do to solve this problem now? Karen,
Okay, what would I do as a
yes,
Nigerian to solve this
exactly.
problem?
Yes.
Hmm. As a Nigerian right now, you have to pay because you need power supply. I just hope that this one will be one of the promises that will come true. And then if you see it's not working, you let them go and generate your own power supply. Stick to the generators. Yes, it's been helping
Unfortunately,
so far.
unfortunately so.
Mm.
Okay, Dr. Austin, what is the hope of the Nigerian? What can we do in the face of the reality on ground? The government has spoken. Some people have said, yes, it's an era of change. We have a minister who won the confidence of Nigerians as a governor. So let's give him a chance and just follow. What do you think Nigerians can do at this time?
Yeah, but you see, the problem is the difference. We can't just think responding positively and complying with this tariff hike. We are being in compliance with Fashola as the minister. Remember, Fashola is only a messenger, right, for Muhammadu Buhari and the organizations, the companies, the private companies that are now running the energy sector in Nigeria. Remember, we are talking about energy sector that is now no longer controlled by the government, but is now in the hands of the private sector. So they're only using government, and then the question becomes, is it the minister that is implementing this? Or because normally when, just like here in the United States, when companies want to increase something, a tariff on something, they have to do it in compliance, in accordance with certain types of regulations. So a regulatory body would ensure that that hike in tariff is in compliance with the existing law. What is the regulatory agency in Nigeria? What are they saying about this? Why should it be the minister that will be explaining it? And if the people want to comply, are they complying because of Fashola, or are they complying because of Buhari, to whom Mr. Fashola himself is just only a messenger by serving in his cabinet? We're not going to just say we're giving Fashola the benefit of the doubt. This is not Fashola's administration. This is Buhari's administration. Okay? So if Fashola was doing that in the state when he was governor, then we'll say let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Why should we give Buhari the benefit of the doubt? Why should we give the federal government and the private sector the benefit of the doubt? We have a system that we have been talking about private-public partnership for a while, right? And we have used it in many. Even if you use the example of telecommunications as an example, like mobile cell phone companies, normally the private companies can go out and borrow and do the work that they want to do, and then they can recoup later on. Because that's when we're talking about gaining the confidence. If you borrow from the bank and improve the service, once the people see that the service has improved, then you have gained their confidence. Then if you're hiking the tariff, it will be possible for them to comply. But to tell me that you have to dip hand into the pockets of citizens in order to get the money that you're going to use to exercise this job, which you signed already with the people when all stakeholders were brought at the table, that you said, give us this and we will improve the energy. And you have not done anything about it. I think the citizens should be outraged. They should be downing their tools, and let's see who is going to suffer in the long run.
So, do you also support this downing of tools? Because, you know, some people earn their living daily. So you down the tools, people go hungry, the economy comes to a stop. Who loses? What do we do? Abiola. Hi, Abiola, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so I'm asking, so what do we do? I mean, Dr. Austin is saying that people should down their tools, but you know, people earn their living, some people earn their livings daily. So they down their tools, they go hungry, the economy comes to stop. Who loses? What do we do?
You know, uh, that looks like just activity in footage, our society in America, where you have a listening government. I don't think we really have the culture of a listening government. I think what we always have is the government have a position, so people will come around, they will do different kinds of things that has happened before, occupy, all of those things, and eventually go back to, you know, ground one. So ground zero, sorry. Is yes, we accept this, you know. Then you have I better pass my neighbor. You have all of those things. Keep using it, and let us see if this will improve. But this is now the main point. The main point is the government needs to. We need to come to an agreement with the government, and it is agreement, not an announcement. Not just for the government to sit down and make an announcement. We need to come to an agreement for the government to sign a mandate with us that this 45% hike within the next 3 months, we should experience improved power supply. If we don't, we will refund your money. We should have that kind of agreement so that everybody is held accountable. The government is held accountable. Also, on our own side too, whatever it is that we are doing in paying for the 45%, we know that there's a time for us to check and appraise the government. The problem is when government is not appraised, people can do things and go with it. I mean, and just go away with it anyhow. Okay, you said you promised us constant power supply. Okay, so let us agree to this and put it in writing with the citizenry that in 3 months this is what you experience. No excuse, no explanation, no diplomacy, no politicking, nothing. Results are shown. You can see when it has improved or when it has not improved. And it's not just about using the media and all that to paint the picture that is not accurate. So that's what I think we should do at this point in time. We will not have control over telling the government to stop this, but we can hold the government accountable.
And thank you so much. Thank you so much, Abiola. Thank you so much, Dr. Austin Pere. Thank you all so much for joining in this discussion. Really appreciate it. All right. So have a great day, guys. Have a good sleep, Americans, and have a great day, Abiola.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye. Yeah.
Yeah.